Hey everybody, welcome back to the Continuum podcast. I am Brian, call sign Mint Condition, and I am joined by, I'm going to mix it up. Hey Eric, call sign Deg. Hey, how's it going, man?
Hey, not too bad. How you doing?
Pretty good. I just cut Nick right out of the whole show opening.
I know, I was so ready to go, and you're just like, and I'm going to switch it, like, oh.
You cut him out of all the show stuff,
but
too.
I am proud of you. You finally got it right that you're Brian, call sign Mint Condition.
I know, I always do it
Call sign
backwards.
Brian.
Oh
Somebody's
my god.
identity
And
is
unfortunately, TJ couldn't join. Well, he is sort of around.
He's here in
TJ's
spirit.
He's here in spirit. Well, actually, he's here in actuality. He's wandering around the server somewhere. But I think they're on vacation, aren't they?
Yeah.
You're somewhere at some hotel doing hotel things.
Doing hotel-like things.
Like things, yes. I wouldn't know what that's like. I've been locked up in a house all day.
Well, I can tell you
Listening.
that people in hotels these days at this time of night are spending about 4 or 5 hours trying to get the Wi-Fi to work just long enough to send a single email to cancel with whoever it is they were going to do something with online.
Well, the big
That's
problem...
what
Yeah, that was...
Well, he's in New York, so I'm sure it's not that bad.
Oh, home of the bed bugs.
Yes.
Yeah, Pamela had today's job, today's thing. Pamela had her first pampered chef party, so that was fun.
Oh God, those things.
No, it was great.
My stepmom does those.
That was awesome. She made like this little pizza thing and this little like almond strawberry thing. It was awesome. Loved it.
Cool.
So were the chefs very pampered?
Absolutely, they were thrilled.
Did they all get like mani-pedis and?
No, it was just a couple of neighbors from around the neighbor from next door and from 2 houses down and the girls across. I finally met the girls that just moved in across the street. I had never met them before. I mean, I'd seen them. They've been here for a couple of months, and I see them getting into their cars and driving away. But that's about it.
Every time they see you, they jump in their car and drive away. Right?
There's a good reason for that. It's way better than the people that used to live across the street. The guy that used to keep his in the winter months when it was cool outside, he didn't want to have to go downstairs to get his beer, so he would keep his case of beer on the roof of the front porch, so he could just lean out the window and grab a beer.
Okay, that's the epitome of laziness right there.
That's Stafford County for you, man.
Yeah, I hear you.
Oh, it's pretty bad too. I mean, it was literally like that. It was literally like you'd look out at the front of the house and there'd be a Coors Light box right there on the roof, and you'd just be like, dude, could you not?
The South. It's understandable.
No. Well, I have a friend. Okay, so I have a friend. When I told him where I live, he's like, "Oh, you live in the hillbilly ghetto." I'm like, "Well, yeah, apparently I do."
So where's the meth lab?
You live in the only place that I can actually compete with as far as like between West Virginia and this section of Maryland.
Oh yeah.
You're the person with whom I can share stories who actually understands what I'm talking about.
I live in Wisconsin.
Nothing wrong with Wisconsin.
If you ask Scott, and then you say something about Wisconsin, he goes, Sheboygan. I used to work with somebody from there, and I hate Wisconsin.
So, Scott's gone, and he's still affecting our...
He's
not gone. He's
not gone.
Hiatusing. Is that a verb?
Off him.
He's what?
It's a Scott tone.
You offed him or something. He's gone.
He's gone.
Like
we iced him. We whacked him. We put a hit out on him. Wow, the server is like not loading stuff for me.
What a surprise. We've been having that issue. That's another thing. It's not us. It's something to do with our...
Yeah, we're having some... So those of you who have been around the server, I will tell you that. Every once in a while, the server gets like freaky slow. And normally when that kind of thing happens, what I'm able to do when the server crashes, I'm able to look back at the server logs and I can see, what was it doing when it crashed. And so if it's a plugin that's causing a problem or something, but these have been really unusual, and I've been getting crashes. We've been seeing crashes, and when it comes back up, I look at and it's not just Minecraft. That's the other thing. It's not just the Minecraft server or bucket that's crashing. It's actually the entire node. The entire virtual server that we use goes down. You can't get into it with SSH. You can't get into it through any of the other ways that we can manipulate the server. When it finally does come back up, I get a chance to check the logs, and it shows the server running normally, and then all of a sudden, boom, it shows that the server log entries for what it does when it normally reboots or when it normally starts up. So it's kind of like, well, I have no idea what just happened, but something clearly did.
It always has to do with Mint, though. I think he's doing it on purpose.
No, it's happened when I wasn't around. Honestly, this is going to sound terrible, and I kind of hope he's not listening. I think it might have something to do with Chicken Hunter, because the couple times that I've seen it happen, Chicken Hunter was on like twice, and in fact, I had been on. He was on, and it crashed, and then I got it back up a few minutes later, and was on for another 3 hours or so. He logged back in as like, oh, the server's back, and within 15 minutes it crashed again. So I'm not sure. I've got to find out, like go up and explore his area and see if there's something up there that crashes it.
It's probably another corrupted spot.
Oh gosh, I hope not.
It's Pirate Cove all over again.
It's Pirate Cove all over. It's yeah, that's actually not a pleasant thought. Anyway.
No.
So anyway, what have you been up to, Nick?
Oh, you still haven't introduced me, but I'm Nick, call sign Creamy Grandpa. By the way,
everybody knows who you are by now. Shut up and talk.
Somebody didn't get their pampered chef party.
I know.
I wasn't pampered. My chef wasn't pampered.
You didn't even get any Arnie Palmies.
Any what?
Arnold Palmers. They call them Arnie Palmies.
I have no idea what that even means. So
okay, it's half iced tea, half lemonade. They're really delicious. If you ever see one, get one. It's delicious.
Okay.
Anyways,
there you go.
Does it have any alcohol in it?
No, it could.
Well,
but no.
What's the point?
Wow. I'm sorry, Mr. Jameson.
You lush.
Oh.
Yeah, it is.
Speaking of, I actually have some UV blue next to me right now.
Yeah, I'm just drinking.
I'm feeling kind of minty.
I'm just rocking the Mountain Dew. So.
What's in it?
Caffeine.
Mountain Dew. Yeah.
What's
pretty
the
much
point?
That's it. Yeah, there's not much of a point.
It's like that bad Santa. He's like, here's some orange juice. What's in it? Oranges. Oops, I just bumped my mic. That's probably
yes,
loud.
you did.
Well, anyways, I've been wandering the server, looking at new things. A lot of new sections, areas.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff. Okay, so that's actually a really good question. If somebody came onto the server right now and said, "Hey, I want to build something and I want to build big," where would you send them?
I would tell them probably if they want just a wide open blank canvas, go to Nimbus, jump down, and take a small walk. The whole area around Nimbus is just blank.
Yeah. That's probably a pretty good idea. I would say if you're going to start at spawn, the problem is you can't get outside of spawn easily unless you know the trick.
Yes, you can.
Unless you know the trick.
Somebody dug a hole out behind the back of spawn.
And I have now a or almost. I actually have the subway that goes all the way out there. So pretty soon you'll be able to get on a minecart. I don't know why you do this when there's a giant warp room. But you can get out. You'll be able to get on a minecart at spawn and ride it all the way to Egypt.
And get your achievement.
Yeah.
If you're one of those Xbox kind of people who
you can get. You can actually get it already if you take the. I think if you get on at Tortuga and you go west, if you get on at Tortuga Central and you head to St. Lawrence, right? As long as you don't get off the cart, you'll get it before you get to the St. Lawrence Central. So, yay.
Speaking of St. Lawrence, there's a side note. So I don't have to hear Mint complain. Get off his lawn. Stay off his lawn.
Yes. Mr. Pokemon. There's a big sign about 4 feet away from where you built your little house. It says, "Don't build here." Yeah. Now there's a big
sign is.
What's that?
So
he didn't build where the sign is. The sign's still intact.
There are signs all over the place that say "Don't build in St. Lawrence."
Well, now when you walk into St. Lawrence, it actually physically tells you don't build in St. Lawrence. So
Yeah,
Can't you turn that off and make it so people can't build in certain areas?
we're working on it.
Oh
Yes.
my God. Don't even bring that up. I'm ready to pull a. Just, I'm not happy with that. I did exactly what the plugin said to do, and after doing all that programming, setting it all up, didn't work. So I sent a nice little chat message through Skype to Mint, just basically having a meltdown. He's just like, basically, he looks at me and goes, "Problem?" It's like, okay, I'm done.
Yeah, because he found out. So we were having a problem with the donator power, the time day power. Donators weren't able to actually use it. It wasn't working for them. And so I asked Nick to look into it, and he figured it out. And he was like, yeah, he was all proud of himself. Everything was fantastic. And I'm like, okay, that's great. Here, work on this one. And he spent about 15 minutes on it. He was like, I hate this. I quit.
Well, because the other one, the problem, I read the little wiki for the plugin, and it said, this is how you set it up. And I set it up like that, and boom, it works. So I was like, okay, I'll go to the wiki for the other one. I set it up exactly how it says, to the word, exact, to the T. I mean, I even named the things exactly what it said for an example. Still didn't work. So I was like, well, I hate this. I'm going to go back to just like registering people and leave everything to everyone else.
So I just want to, for those of you watching the stream, you'll see this is what we've got right now. When you walk into St. Lawrence, the server pops up and is like, hey, here, where it is. Come on now. There it is. It says, welcome to St. Lawrence. No building without permission. Get off my lawn.
Yeah, he needs to add get off my lawn. Maybe a smaller area when you get really close to his castle.
Yeah. Actually, I should put a sub area that's like right over the central part of St. Lawrence that says, if you build here, I'm going to throw you off the server. Get off my lawn.
Or I will punch you. I'll punch your blood out.
I'll punch. Yeah, that was the thing. I saw. I talked to Nick right after I found the house, and I was like, "What? I'm gonna punch out all of his blood." So, you remember that from the reference? Yeah, that was a Team Fortress reference from the. Did you ever see Meet the Sandwich?
Aaron? No, I didn't see that one.
Oh,
no.
Okay, yeah, it's the scout talking about the heavy. He says he punched out all of my blood.
Because the heavy said he was going to do it. He said, "You touch my sandwich, I'll punch out all your blood." He goes, "He actually punched out all my blood."
Nice. It was great.
I don't think I would miss it as much if I logged back in and saw the nonsense that's apparently going on now, but I missed that game.
What, Team Fortress? Oh, it's awesome. I had fun. I was on CP the other night.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they let me back.
The nonsense on CP is controlled because they actually still have people policing it.
Yeah, well, no, not really. Many of the, you know what? I take that back. Cyan was on, and so he was able to, but their mods just, I just think their mods aren't quite as good as they used to be. There used to be one guy on there that was awesome, and then I don't know, something happened. He's not a mod anymore.
They have issues with losing really good mods. I don't know how that happens.
I caught the reference there.
Okay, just making sure.
Yeah. I did too. I was just trying to take the higher ground on that one.
Oh my gosh.
But their loss is other people's servers' gains, right?
Hey, there
you go. We wouldn't have them on. Oh, that's the thing is I can show off one of the new things that I've been working on is the world tree here in Valley of the Gods. So I've been playing around with Voxel Sniper, which is another sort of creative mode tool, admin tool. It's mainly used for terraforming, kind of like World Edit. We use it for admin type stuff. But in order to learn it, like anything else, I've been coming up with projects. So to learn World Edit, I did some terraforming, and to learn like schematics
Giant
and stuff.
iPhone.
Well, the iPhone I built.
iPhone with it. Yeah, with this thing. You wrote iPhone with your
Voxel Sniper, right? And then for the but like World Edit scripting, I built the giant pyramid, and I built a couple of other things. And then in order to practice with importing of schematics, that's how I brought in the 3D voxel conversion of the Sydney Opera House. So I was working on with Voxel Sniper, which allows you to use different brushes to paint and terraform and build and stuff like that. And I followed one of their tutorials, and I built this thing, which is a giant tree, and I mean it's a giant tree. So it goes from about 64-ish to 128. So it's like a 64 block tree. And it's got giant roots and little pond at the bottom and anything else.
Are there
It's pretty
Nuvi living in it?
cool. No, there's no. Not what is it? Nuvi? That's Garmin. Navi. That's right. What it is. Avatar.
Yes.
So.
Little blue creatures living
But I thought
inside.
no, I did think that it would be kind of cool to build a building
Apparently,
inside
there's
of it.
skeletons living in there. Though.
Yeah, there are. I just saw that. So. Yeah.
On the downtime server, I had actually built something sort of like that, and I used cylinders.
Yeah.
So it was hollow on the inside, and I was like going to build like this little ramp and stuff, and have it kind of be like, like this stuff from Kashyyyk from Star Wars, or the Wookiee stuff, or a big tree house type thing with, different buildings and stuff on it. I couldn't get the leaves to work, and I know how to do it now. I just didn't feel like dealing with it.
The thing that I noticed, or the thing that made it easy, is VoxelBox. Oh, sorry, VoxelBox is the server. Voxel Sniper has a tool that lets you essentially throw a blob of like a random looking blob at whatever you're aiming at. So what I would do is I built the frame with blocks, with wood blocks, and then I just sort of threw a whole bunch of leaves at it, and then what would happen is the leaves that were not in a position that were going to decay eventually decayed, and so the only ones left is it's got a shell of leaves that are appropriately in the appropriate places. So it's great.
Yeah,
works well.
You can do that with World Edit too.
Yes. Yeah. Well, you have to use like the spheres and stuff. So
yeah, it might not be as good an interface. I don't know. I've not used the one.
The difference. Okay, so the difference that I've seen with World Edit and with Voxel Sniper is more of a range tool. It works better for like, for example, it's definitely better at individual block editing. So either changing individual blocks or replacing or adding on or building one at a time or removing one at a time. World Edit is it's hard to do individual blocks at a time.
World Edit, go away.
Yeah, World Edit is actually much better at really big, large-scale operations. So importing a building, for example, is something you'd want to do with World Edit. Terraforming an entire valley is something you'd probably want to do with World Edit. So wherever you want to get control, you probably want to use Voxel Sniper.
Turning somebody's house into nothing but cake. World Edit.
That's World Edit, yeah. But drawing a cake into the side of a house, that'd be a Voxel Sniper tool.
Splattering a house with cake.
Yeah, that's Voxel Sniper.
That's just fun.
Yeah. So anyway, so that's what, and actually some people have been asking about Valley of the Gods. The entire point of Valley of the Gods is what can you do with creative mode tools. So pretty much everywhere else on the server, or is at least somewhat, I don't know what you would call it, like normal. And nothing in Valley of the Gods is built legit. I mean, there's a bunch of hand-carved stuff, like the parts of the statue are hand-carved. Some of the inside of the opera house is hand-carved. But the reality is that the intent of the entire Valley of the Gods is to show what can be done and to practice with the tools. So, would you
Valley of the Gods band shell?
Yeah, that's what this is. It's the welcome center for Valley of the Gods. Oh, and there's a warp now for Valley of the Gods in this spawn area. I think it's next to Castle.
Did you get rid of?
I didn't. I put it on the side of one of the other ones.
Oh.
No worries. But anyway, yeah, it brings you to this side, and you can look and you can see and you can go into all this stuff. So anyway, okay, so that brings me to a discussion, and that is the issue of, I mean, it's a big topic too, but the issue of like or I guess what we're calling creative mode tools. And
do I need to get out your soapbox, or are we gonna be all right?
Well, obviously, I always get out my soapbox. So
okay.
I don't know. What do you think about it? I mean, do you think that the game should only ever be played if you mine it and you do your own thing and whatever else?
I think that it should be whatever you kind of want it to be, but if what, Searing? Really?
Flipping tables. I don't even know what that means.
I think it looks like he's kind of flipping off the table, but
turning tables over in his hotel room or something. He's having some major connectivity issues.
He's pouring a rock star, and he's just like he's throwing tables and
turning
beds
tricks
out the window and
into the swimming pool. Yeah.
Yeah. Lucky. Anyways, I think it's, if you're playing single player, be whatever you want it to be. If you're playing multiplayer, join a server that, basically tailors to whatever you think you want it to be. If you want to completely just spawn everything you want and do it just like that, well, then be on a server like that. Well, this one, for instance, isn't 100%, spawn everything.
We
but it's not 100%
we strike a difference.
Mine it. Yes.
Yeah, we strike a balance. We know that people don't like to, some people, I should say, don't really like to do a whole bunch of they don't want to have to mine for everything. But at the same time, we're not trying to spawn everything. So that's why we have the economy, for example, and we're going to be trying to make it a valid economy. So yes, you're still going to have to do something in order to buy your materials.
Once we do get it going, it's going to be, you'll have to mine, but you don't have to mine for certain things. You can just dig up or cut down a bunch of trees, keep replanting them, sell those trees or those blocks.
Yeah, you could be like a tree farmer.
Yeah. You basically have to work for it, but you don't have to be like, oh, I need to keep digging all these mines to try to find me, a lapis block. You can just go out and sell whatever you have an abundance of to buy that block.
Well, and the thing I like about the shop system is at some point, I mean, the map is going to run out of diamond or whatever it is you're trying to hunt for. And this makes the game less frustrating. I mean, I like the idea of going in and playing the game as it's meant to be played, and mining and digging and kind of exploring underground as well as above ground. And honestly, that's really all I've been doing up until just recently.
That's great for single player, I think. But multiplayer, it's kind of a little more difficult.
It is more difficult in multiplayer, but this gives you a way to have it, like you said, have the resources available that you need so that you're not forced to do that. Like you said, you can farm trees, you can do all kinds of different things and still have access to the stuff you want. And yet it's not set up in a way that it's abusive where you don't really have to do anything. You can just log in and say, oh, I'm going to build the Starship Enterprise and just do it. I mean,
and to be honest, if you walk up to us and say you want to build a Starship Enterprise, I will spawn every single block you need if you do that.
Well, don't say that, because you'll have all kinds of people giving you a hard time.
Oh, if they legitimately are making, that's a lot of wolves. Did you do that, Mint?
No.
Wow.
What?
There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 wolves.
Oh man.
All right, I found my new home. This is cool. I like this place.
That's not including the 2 I have that are wandering with me.
Cool. But yeah, I mean, I think the idea is, and that's really been our philosophy, the whole time, has always been, play the way you want to play. It's your game. Now, a lot of this could change with 1.8 and the adventure update. I mean, who knows what's going to happen? I mean, I always get a little bit frightened when there are such major changes. But I mean, I think the content, the texture, I guess, of the game changed in what was it? I guess it was about from alpha to beta, I guess. There was a whole concept when monsters came in to SMP. You know, it was like it was a different game, and I think for some people it wasn't good. You know.
Well, and then those people can just turn that stuff off and just basically revert it back if they wanted to.
Yeah, I guess the problem that I have is what you got. What often happens in situations like that is you start getting people making judgments, and they start saying things like, "Well, if you don't play the way that I think you should play, well, you're doing it wrong." And
and then people break off and start their own server, and thinking, no, they have their own podcast. Oh, wait.
Well, not my podcast. I was coerced.
Not that hard, honestly.
Actually, it was. You guys had to talk me into it. I was like, well, all right, I'll help you get started. But,
Sucker.
you know, I had a reputation of, you know, stealing stuff from people. Or at least that's the perception. Anyway, but I've always had a problem with people who say this is the way that you're supposed to play a game. I mean, to my way of thinking, and I've actually had this conversation with game developers, that even the guy who programs the game isn't the be all and end all authority of what the game should be. It winds up being the people that play it. So I mean, we had this conversation. Gosh, Eric, I can't remember. Remember when we played City of Heroes, and we used to talk about this, and there were people who would sit around and be like, "Well, you have to play it this way. You have to want to spend this much time and this much resource and everything else, and if you don't do it, you're doing it wrong." And this is the way the developers intended to have the game played.
Well, you know, I guess I can kind of understand their argument a little bit better in something like City of Heroes, because it is more of a proper game. Minecraft, on the other hand, I know some people get offended when you call it a sandbox, but I mean, really, it's
right
a number
now
of
it's
things
what it
to
is.
do.
Well,
Yeah, I mean, it's.
But I mean,
do,
it's interesting because I mean, you think about even from something like Team Fortress 2, but for the most part, if you look at it, hardcore players of almost any game play.
Hardcore Minecraft players?
Well, hardcore players of any game play the game, are more familiar with the game than developers are often. They actually spend more time playing the game than the developers themselves. That was certainly true. That was certainly true with things like City of Heroes and WoW. I guarantee the kind of people, some of the hardcore WoW players and MMO players, they play for 8 hours a day, and the guys that write the game, they don't have time, and the guys and girls, I should say, that write the game, they don't have time to spend because they actually have to program the game, so they can't be playing it that much, and they just, so I don't know. Yeah. I always get antsy, and I always get frustrated when people say, this is how you have to do this thing. And if you don't do it that way, then you're doing it wrong. And
get off my lawn.
That's my lawn. That's different. It's different.
It's a really nice mushroom farm you got going on here, too.
What's that? I have a mushroom
under
farm?
this tree.
Oh, look at that. Yeah. I do. I have a ton of them.
This means a lot.
Yeah, man. Those mushrooms are awesome.
That's the wrong kind of mushroom. You need the brown ones. Wait, I don't know what I'm talking about. What do you mean?
I'm telling.
Who are you going to tell?
I don't know. ATF.
Aqua Teen Hunger Force?
No. That's, I don't even know. That's ATHF. That's alcohol, tobacco, and firearms.
And mint.
And mint. Alcohol, tobacco, firearms, and mint?
Yeah.
I don't even know what that means.
I don't either. Okay. It means I've been drinking half a bottle of UV, and I don't know. I'm just talking.
There you go.
Anyways, actually, I'm about to... Wait, are you even listening, Coyote? I don't know. Coyote just asked if we play World of Warcraft. I'm actually going to try to start.
I do.
I want to know, am I able to... Because I know that the starter edition thing went back to being like that you can do free to play.
Sort of.
Up to
Can you
what
use
level?
that with existing accounts? I mean, can I put my old account back?
So here's the thing. If you start a new account, you can play up to level 20 for free. It used to be you had 30 days, and basically now what they're doing is they're making it so there's no time limit, but that you can play the first 20 levels for free, because it's really not anything significant in the course of the game, but it's enough for new players to kind of get the idea of how questing works and how to buy and sell things.
And
Their
to
first
do
fix
you
is
know,
free.
yeah,
right, exactly. You can, if you have an old account and you bring it back, you really don't get any benefit. If you start a new account as being referred by somebody, then you and the person who referred you, as long as you're grouping together, any one of your characters grouping with any one of their characters, then you get plus 300% XP all the way to level 60.
Wow. See,
Yeah,
I brought mine back. I mean, I thought about it, but you know what else is going free to play? Is COH.
Company of Heroes?
No, City of Heroes.
It already is.
I thought it was about to be, but it hadn't actually.
No, it is. It's on Steam, and I tried playing it. Doesn't hold up very well.
Oh, it's not good anymore?
No.
I mean, I got to tell you, I like the premise of City of Heroes a little bit better because I prefer superhero stuff over like medieval stuff.
Yeah.
But World of Warcraft, as much as it kind of pains me to say it, is a much more polished game, and it's
because they had a bazillion players and a lot more money
and $1 billion to throw at it.
Exactly.
Exactly. Very specific reasons why that's the case, but it makes it really kind of hard to go. Well, I guess COH is free. That would make it easier, but I don't know.
Well, see,
my cousin.
WoW is not free.
That all the time.
Yeah,
my cousin plays City of Heroes all the time, and his character is a guy who flies on a rainbow. In his ground move when he runs fast, his backflips. It's hilarious.
I forgot they added all those new. Oh crap! I think I just destroyed part of them.
It is so funny though. I'll get on just to like hang out with him, and he's like, "Here I come!" And then he's like, comes in on a rainbow, and when he lands, he just starts doing backflips.
Nice. That's awesome. I forgot they added all those new animations. It's been forever since I played COH. Now that they've gone free to play, I might go back just to break out the old characters. That's where the mint condition came from. You know that?
Yeah.
The name mint condition came from one of my first level 50 character in City of Heroes.
Back when you were only like 30?
Shut up.
Back before they had electricity.
Yeah, back when we had to play MMOs by mail. we had to use the Pony Express to.
Have you guys ever actually played chess by mail?
No, I played by email once. Got destroyed.
I've played it by mail. It was pretty interesting. It took like a couple months.
Yeah,
I don't think we ever finished it.
Anyway, well, I think we've been going for about a half hour. I don't know. Is there anything else?
No.
All right. Hey, here's a question. Let's solicit some audience feedback. I think next week we might talk about we talked about mods, server mods, particularly this time. But next week we might talk about client-side mods. And so I know some people have expressed questions about whether or not they could use things like I don't even know how to pronounce it, the zombie mod with that E, whatever it is. Yeah. Anyway, and the answer is, if you're not an admin, no. Just because it kind of interferes with some of the stuff on our server. But if there are things that you want or that you need and that you think they're able to be they need to be added, let us know. But the other question is, what client-side mods do you use? Do you want to use? Do you use on single player and that sort of thing? Or are client-side mods cheating, like some people would say? So let us know, and we will put your comments on the show. So
Yes.
anyway,
One other thing is, I guess we could probably kind of ask for donations. We haven't done that in a while. So if you want to become a donator, it's pretty easy. From our website, you can click on donate, which brings you to the donation page, and you just give us all your credit card information, and we take what we want.
Just give us all your money. We'll take it. It's all good.
No, it's $250 a month. It's pretty reasonable.
Yeah, it helps us keep the server running because I mean this thing's it's not free. It's not terribly expensive, but you know.
Not terribly expensive thanks to Kerplunk, which
we love them.
If you're looking for a server, definitely try Kerplunk.
That's pretty reasonable. MinecraftGSP.com if you're interested. Tell them Continuum sent you. Mint Condition sent you. They'll know who you're talking about.
Tell them the Continuum sent you, and they'll say who?
No, we've complained to them so many times.
I was going to say we've done so many tickets. Support tickets. They know who we are by now.
And usually it's our fault. We're like, we broke this. Can you fix it?
So anyway, all right, that's gonna do it. I think. Let me do the credit thing. Do you want to do the outro?
Eric, you want to, or should I?
I think
you should. I'm still
okay. Off memory, let's see if I can do this.
Screw it, I'll do it. You can follow us on Twitter at ContinuumMC. That's twitter.com/ContinuumMC. You can check out the Minecraft server at continuum.minecraftgsp.com. That's also the website address, continuum.minecraftgsp.com. If you want to donate, head on over to mintconditionstudios.com/donate. I am twitter.com/mintcondition. Creamy is twitter.com/creamygrandpa.
Grandpa.
And twitter.com/Eric Blythe. And
Eric. Finally, we do have a Mumble server up and running again. It's pretty simple. It's continuum.dyn, tac, which is a minus sign if anyone doesn't know, ip.com. It's port 64738, and that's what we're going to try to be using now instead of just chatting through text.
Oh, we are? Okay.
Well, let's see if it works. If anyone else
it was great, except for the fact that half the time I, couldn't hear you.
Yeah, I'm still working on that.
So
if we get enough people, I'll upgrade it to a better computer.
But you see me so today on the video, you've seen me wandering around Valley of the Gods. I think we started out over in Egypt. We're happy to give tours if you want. Just pop on the server and let us know, and one of us will walk you around, and we'll help you find a spot to build too. That's something that a lot of people ask us for. So
see, what you do is you go to St. Lawrence, you go right in front of the
big castle.
The big castle, and just build a giant cobblestone block.
That's what you should do. That's a great way. If you really don't want to be on the server anymore, that's a perfect thing that you should do. All right.
If you want to talk to Mint, that's the easiest way to do it.
Oh, and if you're...
That's the fastest way.
And Bo, we still don't hate you.
No, but I did add a bunch of signs to your house.
We did. We put a bunch of signs in your house. All right. Good night, everybody. That's going to do it for Continuum. We'll see you next time right here on the podcast. Have a good week, everyone.
Pasta manana.